So this read will be a past life journey reading connected to the angel number that appears here at the start of the reading. And so if you have been seeing this number, it's your lucky number, but especially if this is a number that has been something you've noticed recently, repeatedly throughout your day, or significant things happening connected to this same number, 345, then this past life soul journey read is for you. The angel message that we have here is baby steps. Little by little, it will get done. The overwhelm you feel is not unnoticed by your angels. They ask you to reconfigure your perspective, and instead of focusing on the big picture, look at the immediate step. Organize your thoughts on paper now and write down what your baby steps will be in the forthcoming days. So, well, I like that. Sort of breaking down the larger task into more manageable steps. Right, 345. Let's see what past life journey you are connecting to, and we'll first do that by taking a look at the time period that your past life was connected to. Persian Empire. We have 550 to 330 BCE. It's the era of the Achaemenid dynasty, one of the largest and most powerful empires in history, which is very much really shown in this illustration. Very impressive architecture. A well-fortified kingdom. It looks like there is trade happening between different groups of people. So we're looking at the Persian Empire. Let's see what you did during your past life. What was your main occupation during that time? Connecting with this number 345. 345. We have hunter. Living off the land in a prehistoric or tribal society, foraging and hunting for survival. So with this in connection to the Persian Empire, you probably were on the outer outskirts of the empire, in a society that maybe wasn't quite as developed as the civilization around you. All right, again with this number 345, how did this past life end? You know that it did. Okay, we have torture. You died while being tortured, perhaps during imprisonment or interrogation. So, well, that's a very severe energy, one that would definitely carry over into life for sure. Maybe as a hunter you were mistaken for having some other role in the kingdom. take a look at the other energies before clarifying that manner of passing. So we're going to take a look at 3 themes that were present in your life in this past soul journey where you came into contact with a powerful empire in history. We have broken promise. So that's the card of unfinished business. A promise made that was not fulfilled, now influencing trust issues or feelings of responsibility. Okay, and let's see, 2 more. We have another one for unfinished business, unspoken truth. A truth or secret that was never revealed, still impacting your ability to communicate or trust others. This seems very much to connect with the manner of passing, since there was an interrogation and we have unresolved love. An incomplete romantic relationship with emotions of longing, regret, or heartbreak still lingering. All of these unfinished energies seem to very closely align with this life and the manner of passing. As a hunter, you would spend a lot of time in a hunt that would probably take you to distances away from those in your family, maybe only in small groups. So you would have to go out on a hunt and leave others behind, and it would leave a lot of possibility for all sorts of negative things that could happen, coming to a violent end. So, okay, let's take a look, clarify. First of all, the torture. This manner of passing. So, clarifiers on torture. Right away, I'm going with the Outlander Oracle, as that is something that happens to several characters in that show. Not to the point of anyone losing their life, but to where there was great harm. We have Ruler. So this was in the show, it was King Louis the 14th, maybe, but a king who saw himself as the sun, as the light and the ruler, and almost a god-like sense. At the bottom here we have impulsiveness. This was when one of the characters in the show decided to try, somewhat bravely but foolishly, to tame a wild horse. The character survived, but There may have been some type of act. I mean, as a hunter, you would have been very brave, and taking impulsive action probably served you well in the past. And so showing some type of bravery or great courage may have brought the attention of a ruler onto you, and that could have led to an interrogation to find out who you were exactly. So let's take a look at that. Move these aside and clarify just who you were as a person. We already know that you were very brave and an individual that was very daring. But let's further clarify hunter. Maybe what was this aspect that maybe led to imprisonment even. But right now we just want to clarify who you were. Who were you as a hunter? And as a person, we have Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is someone who takes very quick action. Here we have a figure pictured as the god Aries, the god of war. And so you may have appeared as a soldier to some, but someone who had very Mars-like energy, someone who was very daring, very courageous, and acted swiftly. Someone who would have been noticed for sure. We have 8 of Cups at the bottom of the deck, pictured as the god Chiron. Or Chiron. I'd probably need to look this one up. But 8 of Cups is someone who acts very emotionally to quickly leave some type of situation. So maybe your actions, just as a person, you were very emotional, maybe not the most mature person. You would have had to be very athletic and strong to be a hunter. So you were more than likely fairly youthful and having a very strong appearance, yet acting maybe not in the most mature manner. Setting out to correct matters, to take action impulsively. And more on your connections, let's take a look at broken promise. So here we have some kind of promise that was made that was not fulfilled, and it's influencing trust issues. So you might ask yourself if you see that in your life today also, as a way of confirmation if that is an issue that you've dealt with in your life, then this may, let's see what comes out on clarifying this promise. What is the promise here? What was this unfulfilled promise? And maybe it was just to return from leaving out for a hunt. Let's see. What is this broken promise that we have here? We have the Five of Pentacles. So maybe to return, going out on the hunt, you would come into the wilderness, you would be away from your home and those that you love. And there are always two figures in the Five of Pentacles that are out in the cold. And so maybe the promise was to return to someone that you were close to, that you had to leave behind for the hunt. We have the Sun in reverse. This could mean that there was some, well, you made an expression, but you weren't able to follow through with it. And this could have, well, this definitely would have created great sadness in you and in the one who would not have had your promise fulfilled too. So it would really be to both of you. Some more on this. Who was the promise made to? Who was the promise made to? We have Page of Swords. So we have this woman here as the Page of Swords, peering behind the blade of a sword, the moon above here. It's funny because the sun appeared earlier. The sun and the moon could be like the masculine and the feminine. On your broken promise, we had the sun at the bottom of the deck here. So this might have been a partner, maybe, that was even on the hunt with you. Someone curious to learn from you, or just to have word from you, to know where you were, to somehow come to an understanding later that the promise made would not be fulfilled, and maybe they were able to learn the reason why. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Death card. So with this promise left unfulfilled, there was a dramatic change that happened for this person. There's an upheaval here in stability. We have the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. And so if you had left out on a hunt with the promise to return, to come out of the Five of Pentacles, this turned your Ten of Pentacles upended, and the stability of this one would have been lost. We have Temperance also here at the bottom of the deck in the reverse. Oh, this is all very sad. They would have been very anxious to have your answer, to have news of your whereabouts. We have the Four of Swords in the reverse, so there was a lack of healing. And a Queen of Pentacles that would have continued on nurturing herself and the family, but this broken promise has a feel to it of really a circumstance that was taken out of your control, and it left a lot of disrupted energy here behind it. Okay, let's take a look now at unresolved love, which seems like it's really just linked to everything else that's happened here. Okay. So for unresolved love, It's funny too how this story seems so tragic and almost overwhelming. Difficult to process, which seems like the angel message that goes along with this read really is fitting, since there is so much, almost like a very complex mix of energies, of loss, of things unfinished. So unresolved love. Tell us more about this unresolved love. What else can we know about the unresolved love? Okay. So we have, looks like the Emperor. Oh, we have both emperors. Okay, we have the male and the female emperor, and the Justice in the reverse. An unresolved love. So there was some type of unbalanced cause and effect, and the matter involved. We have the Emperor, the male, in the upright. And we have the female emperor here that came up in the reverse. So it's almost as though we had an emperor who set out on action, who took action, and the female counterpart who was left in the reverse state, unable to take some action. It's also interesting that she is here in the walls of a, inside. Looks like a courtyard of a palace, but there are walls around her. She's restrained, and she has all of these links here to these smaller characters that are holding her in, that she's connected to. Ties that bind. So almost like more of a situation where she is held down by all the others that she's connected to, and she doesn't have her full power. Whereas this emperor, in this kind of wilderness scene, almost out in nature, almost like the hunter here, he's out and he's taken action, some type of action here that has gone wrong. So maybe he went out on a hunt and there was some type of cause and effect situation, and he never returns, leaving this empress in a state of longing. It's not the emperor, the female emperor in a state of longing, the male emperor here in a state probably of the same, but regret because of the action of just leaving. We have the Ten of Cups in the reverse. And so there's great sadness here. Instead of being together in this full happiness, enjoying nature, the sky, the rainbow, the closeness of being together, in this past life, this unresolved love was lost. The Ten of Cups was lost here. And it was because of some sort of injustice. And again, we have very powerful figures too. the Emperor of the male and female cards in this deck. Let's see here. Hunter up. And we'll do clarifiers now on the unspoken truth. And we're looking at a truth or secret that was never revealed, yet still impacting your ability to communicate or trust others. So for this, let's see, take a look at this deck for what this unspoken truth is. This is a good deck because it's a beginner's tarot that has extra information for each card. So let's see what comes up. Unspoken truth. Tell us more about this unspoken truth. We have the Ace of Cups in the reverse. Some emotional loss, an emptiness, something lost. This seems to really just connect back to the broken promise, the unresolved love. We have the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Oh, and the Eight of Cups again here, leaving to the Ten of Swords. All right, it's kind of all connecting back to the manner of passing for this past life. In describing who this hunter was earlier, we had the Eight of Cups, which could be leaving, having to go out, maybe even in an emotional way. And then right behind that we have the Ten of Swords, which is like an ultimate end. That could be the very painful ending of the torture and that interrogation. When it comes though to the unspoken truth, we also have here this Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So there was some type of opportunity that maybe seemed to be offered here, the opportunity to go out on a hunt and come back with something good, but this led to disappointment and an ultimate end. And this Ace of Cups was never offered in the upright. So the unspoken truth may be that of the unresolved love and the promise to return. So in terms of themes now that you might see in your life, why this story even comes out, there seems like there's so much here. Ultimately, it seems like there needs to be an expression of truth. There's a longing to fulfill a promise, to resolve the love that's actually there, to speak. And if this is your reading, then maybe the pattern here for you is to vocalize these things in your life today, not to leave a promise unmet, and not to leave things unspoken that should be said in terms of maybe overcoming what might be difficult to speak or difficult to communicate to others, especially if there is some lack of trust. We have the advice here with the angel message to know the big picture, but to look at the immediate steps that might be taken. Maybe to just communicate, to start the communication with a small message, to organize your thoughts, maybe on paper, of what you want to say, what you feel it's important to communicate, to clarify, and maybe just opening lines of communication. All right, to round out this, kind of close out this reading for the past life journey, I'll get the spiritual meaning of birds oracle card to maybe provide a little confirmation of the read being for you. So if you start to see this bird, or you have been already seeing the bird that appears here, that's more confirmation. Let's see if we can also get some advice. Oh, okay, we have duck. Weathering storms, transition, prosperity. So if you go to the lake often, you've been seeing ducks already. But if you start to see a whole, what are they called? Flock of ducks flying overhead, there's additional confirmation for you. And I hope that this read has helped with clarity, and maybe just motivation to really reconnect to the energies of this life path that seems to have been cut short at a time of great promise, and reconnect maybe to those that maybe even knew in a past life. There could be people in your life today that, you know, you made a promise to on a soul journey that happened many years ago, back in the Persian Empire. Or if this is just the patterns that you're seeing in your life today, things that are left unfinished, unexpressed, unfulfilled, you have time in your life today to decide what you want to do. So all the best to you.